For me, the hardest part of growth wasn't change. It was choosing not to go back. And I think the moments where I was tested the most were after highs of like feeling really big accomplishments, big milestones in your life. And then when you kind of come off of that high, you feel a little lost for a little bit. And for me, journaling has been a way to pull myself out of those flows. So I wanted to share that with you, and like kind of a technique that I have for myself, because the lows happen often, and I think you have to be comfortable with them and kind of know how to navigate them and be familiar with the way that you show up and know like, okay, like this is me when I'm feeling a little discouraged, when I'm feeling a little offbeat, and maybe you need to do something to take care of yourself. For me personally right now, the way that I calibrate myself and bring myself back to my why and my purpose and remotivate myself is through my journal. And I was never a journaler, at least not that I recall or that I remember. Maybe childhood Alyssa journaled, but that's a story for another day because childhood Alyssa went through a lot. But anyway, I decided on November 23rd, 2025 that I was going to journal. I only know that because that was my first journal entry, and I bought this journal way before November 23rd. It just kind of sat at my nightstand for a while. Also, like the book that I've been reading for 3 months now that I've read one chapter of. Anyway, November 23rd, I wrote, "Hi, let's start with add something to your routine." It was like a prompt at the top of the page. I've added a lot to my routine. This entire year has been a year of growth. I'd say the entire shift started when I applied to Deer Park and didn't get it. That was in the summer of 2024. I don't have much room to ramble. I don't have as much room to ramble as I'd like. I didn't write that, but that's what I meant to write. So I'm sorry, but I have to revisit my new routine. The biggest change in my routine has been my daily quote scroll. I scroll Pinterest and screenshot all the quotes that speak to my soul. Today my favorite was, "I can sense a bigger life pulling me closer." And oh, I can't wait to grow into it. Now on the bottom of this journal in particular, I don't know, I found this one at Target and I really liked it. It has like a spot where you can put your mood and your energy level. And for my mood, I wrote electrified, and my energy level was a 7. And you could see my mood shift through the journal entry as they progressed, and my energy level increased, and it reminded me like what my purpose was and what my why is, and like the prompts kind of led me in that direction. And my journal entries have taken me out of many situations, and they help ground me in ways that I didn't know were possible. Journaling brought me to YouTube, and it also has helped me like along my journey. So every time I kind of feel stuck, I've been like really wanting to do long form content, and I didn't want to be like an influencer. I really wanted to be able to speak to people and like kind of share my experience and my growth journey and inspire others to kind of unlock it within themselves. And ChatGPT made me believe that shorts was the only way that I could do that. And I just don't feel like I get to be myself through shorts. I like have fun making them, but ultimately I want to do this. But I have been like trying really hard to sit down and record. I've tried like 4 or 5 times at this point to sit down and record something that I felt like I would be confident posting and having someone watch. And I think my fear is being vulnerable, because that's very scary. But also like making sure that what I talk about is something that I feel really passionate about and not like a topic that feels forced. So I decided to read my journal today before I recorded, and it helped me curate like what I wanted like my thought prompt to be to talk about. So it's helped me in different ways, and I love going back to it and reading how I felt, and I want to relax and start over. I am not going to start over, nor am I going to cut that part out. But anyway, to bring it to the point is journaling helps me unlock things, whether it's through writing it or rereading it to remind myself of my passions. So you have to find what reignites that for you and what lights that flame within yourself to stay consistent. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to continue to grow. And sometimes I forget, and I hadn't opened this book up for a while, like, and by a while I mean like 10 days, like that's all it takes for you to kind of like go back into those old habits. So, like, I have to pull myself out, because once I fall too deep, it really makes it hard for me to climb out of there. And journaling is what helps me pull myself out. And I never thought of myself to be a journaler. And if you say, oh my God, girl, shut up, I'm not gonna journal, like, that was me. And like, this journal helps me with everything now, at work, in my personal life, with my channel. So be open-minded to try new things and learn to like understand and speak to yourself. Good luck. I know it's hard.